Welcome back. Welcome to another Foxy Games UK game news video. So we've got some good news, some bad news, and lots of juicy news today. Let's start with the bad news and get it out of the way, right? So yeah, PlayStationLifestyle.net seems to be the go-to news source for me lately. They've got all of the scoops. So PS5 price increase announced in Japan, which is a bit of a surprise to me because PlayStation's really been picking up momentum, and I've, criticized Xbox for having price increases in certain regions. Even PlayStation's games have gone up in certain regions, and we've got to keep the same energy for all the consoles, all the manufacturers, all platform holders. So yeah, this PlayStation 5 price increase announced in Japan is not the best news. Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced its third PS5 price increase in Japan starting from September 2024. Both the PS5 Disc Edition and digital model will see their price tags hiked by 13,000 yen, which translate to a little less than $100, which is quite substantial. Additionally, prices of various accessories, including the DualSense controller, are also going up. Sony announced via its blog, and it's fair to say the news wasn't taken very well, because not only is PS5 and all of its accessories, including headsets and PlayStation Portal, the streaming or remote play handheld device they've got, they are going to become more expensive in Japan, but already struggling. PlayStation VR 2 is also going to cost more starting September 2nd. Now, I say struggling, it's had a price cut recently which saw it massively increase in sales, but not all regions. Now, given the recent challenging external environment, including the current fluctuations in the global economic situation and the impact it will have on Sony's business, they have decided to reach this decision, a Sony spokesperson explained. They went on to say, "We appreciate your understanding so that we can continue to provide our customers with the best gaming experience and operate a stable business. Players in the West are already concerned that prices might go up in multiple other countries as well. The PS5 has previously received a price increase in Europe, but the US has largely avoided the hike. I wonder why. That is the main battleground, isn't it?" Now, at the time of the video and this particular article, there's no word on an impact on other regions. Now, I just actually tweeted regarding PS5 Pro, and a lot of people think that the price of PlayStation 5 will possibly come down, allowing PS5 Pro to launch at vanilla model is now. I doubt that's going to happen. You see, I can see no indication of the vanilla model, the current PS5, going down in price anytime soon. There's no indicators there whatsoever, and if anything, we've had the odd temporary price cut, but there's been no permanent price cuts whatsoever. So I believe, and hey, it's a prediction, so it doesn't have to be correct, but I believe PS5 Pro will have an MRRP of around $600. I think it will match the Xbox Series S Special Edition 2TB model, which is not worth the price for the extra 1GB, but there you go. No extra power at all in that system. And I reckon it will be around $549.99 RRP, that's retail recommended price, in the UK. The Pro model will likely be marketed as the enthusiast's console. And yeah, as I said, there's no indication the vanilla PS5 current model will receive a permanent reduction in price anytime in the near future, which is a bit strange, really, isn't it? When you look historically, we're 4 years in almost, and prices aren't going down, they're actually going up, particularly in Japan. Sound off in the comments, let me know what you think about this price increase. It absolutely sucks if you live in that region, and it's not a very good sign for anyone else in other regions, unless you're in the US, I guess. Also, some very brief news regarding Black Myth Wukong. Game Science must be incredibly happy, as the game has hit a new milestone of 15 million copies sold worldwide, and that occurred within a week. 1 week. Yeah, 3 days 10 million, 1 week 15 million. Will this ever stop? This is great news for this small but upcoming development studio, and good news for us gamers who want a potential sequel. I'm currently playing Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, as you can see this footage in this video. So yeah, good news all round for Black Myth Wukong. But let's jump straight into some PlayStation 5 Pro news, still sticking with PlayStation Lifestyle.net. So PS5 Pro's anticipated launch has developers delaying games, according to a recent report. The PS5 Pro, which was the ongoing conversation, the biggest secret of Gamescom, or shall we say the biggest open secret of Gamescom, because I doubt there's few who don't know about PS5 Pro by now, even if some are still skeptical, even in believing that this system's actually going to arrive. It is. According to many media outlets, the PS5 Pro hasn't been even officially announced yet, let alone have a release date or window, but it was apparently a hot topic, as I say, among developers at Gamescom 2024. Sony didn't host a PlayStation booth at the event, but those in attendance claim that the elusive PS5 upgrade was talked about quite a bit. So over the weekend, Italian website multiplayer.it claimed that it spoke to a developer at Gamescom who let slip that they were slowing down their game's development in anticipation of the PS5 Pro's release, because they want that much coveted enhanced for PS5 Pro label on the game cover. This said developer presumably wants to take advantage of the hardware at launch rather than release a Pro patch later. And as you know, there's a new boost in sales for certain games that are enhanced when new hardware is released, and they probably want to get on the bandwagon. Now, following the report, WCCF Tech corroborated multiplayer.it's claim and wrote that another developer volunteered to them the revelation that they had received PS5 Pro specs. This unnamed studio reportedly expressed confidence that Unreal Engine 5 would run much better on the upgraded hardware, so they're also waiting. Now, that's to be expected. I'll be honest with you. Looking at Star Wars Outlaws, which is phenomenally good looking in a majority of the game, there are little sections that could do with a GPU boost, resolution boost. It does look a bit soft in some places, even in the quality mode, and very much a performance mode. I don't even play in performance. I play in the 40 FPS, 120 hertz container VRR mode, which is otherwise known as 40 FPS quality mode. And even I can see it needs a bit of a, sprinkle here and there. Also, Black Myth Wukong could do with the extra boost, so I, for one, am very much looking forward to PS5 Pro and the extra power afforded to the GPU at least, as there's only a 10% uptick in the CPU and a whole bunch of improved ray tracing features, which will go some way to making the water. Did I say water? I meant water. There is my influence of living in America all those years ago, and the Americans I still keep in communication with today. So hopefully water in Star Wars Outlaws on one particular planet look a lot better when it comes to reflections. At the moment they're using screen space reflections, which don't look particularly enticing. So yeah, can't say for sure how likely it is for major AAA studios to move their release dates to accommodate PS5 Pro's release, but it certainly does appear that relatively smaller devs want to save their time and resources and ensure that their game is fully optimized for the launch of PS5 Pro. PS5 Pro's official announcement is expected in September by way of a rumored state of play. There's talk that it's not even going to be a PlayStation showcase, but who really gives a flying? Whether it's a state of play or a PlayStation showcase, just reveal and announce the hardware already and let us see some improvements in games. And then our final PS5 Pro news of the video, still with PlayStation Lifestyle.net. PS5 Pro might be an ugly surprise, and they're not talking about form factor here. As I mentioned earlier, the PS5 Pro's price is going to end up breaking the bank for many if recent developments are any indication, as we inch closer Closer to upgrading the console, and its official reveal, speculation about its price has begun, with Sony unable to contain the standard PS5's price, as seen in multiple regions. It's kind of like PS3, isn't it? Remember when the PS3 first launched, it was horrifically expensive. Sony stripped everything out of it. Basically, the ability to play PS2 games was one of the key factors in reducing the price, and obviously made it more cheaply. And ever since the price reduction the first time, they just had to stick with the price, and really until the end of the generation. If you look at Nintendo Switch, it's the same scenario. That system's been out since 2017 and mostly stayed at its launch price, in spite of it being 7 to 8 years old. So yeah, we can only imagine really how hefty the PS5 Pro's price tag might be. Journalist and insider Jeff Grubb regurgitated rumors of a PlayStation event by the end of September, where many are expecting to see Sony's worst kept secret, PS5 Pro. Of course, we've already seen some of the console specs thanks to leaked official documents that were sent to developers, but there's still a big question mark around the console's price. Now, earlier in this video, I did mention that Sony announced its third PS5 price increase in Japan, citing economic reasons. The console has also received price hikes in other regions in the past, including Europe, while speculation on PS5 Pro's price. Jeff Grubb said he expects it to be around $600, though it's quite surprising if that will be the case, according to the writer of PlayStationLifestyle.net of this article, because Microsoft just announced a 2TB Xbox Series X for $600, and that has no extra power, and Grubb thinks that Sony might try to match the price. I mean, do you think Jeff Grubb is correct about this, given Xbox hardly motivates Sony these days in being a direct rival or competitor? The 2TB Xbox Series X doesn't boast upgraded specs like the PS5 Pro, and yeah, Sony is least concerned about price matching the Xbox at this stage, considering it's barely facing any competition from it anywhere except in the United States. But when you consider PSVR 2's price was panned, yet Sony didn't budge for a hot minute. Everyone expressed skepticism about the PlayStation Portal, calling it an expensive remote player, yet it sells like hot cakes. All of this leads to believe that the PS5 Pro will come with a massive price tag that inches closer to $700 rather than $600. I don't think that will be the case somehow. I think Sony wants to sell as many PS5 Pros as it can. If you look at the PlayStation 4 Pro, it contributed in some way, selling over 20 million units in its life cycle, around 22 or 24 million units. It contributed to the 100 plus, I think it was 117, 120 million PS4s that were sold during its life cycle. So I think Sony would like to see a repeat of that, adding on to the tally somehow, and I don't think $700 is going to get them even close to that, even though you still can't get a PC with capable enough ray tracing specifications as the ones touted in the PS5 Pro console upgrade for $600, $700. You're not going to get it for that. Those graphics cards cost in excess of that alone. Yeah, you'll get higher, frame rates and stuff, and probably better resolution, but all the other bells and whistles, you probably won't get it for that price. Now, anybody who wants a PS5 Pro should start saving now, because it is going to cost at least $600, I believe that. Maybe £549.99 in the UK. Goodness me, I fathom to think about what it will cost in in euros or Canadian or Australian dollars. But there you have it. That's your news. PS5 Pro in abundance. Good news for Black Myth Wukong. If you enjoyed this video, you like this sort of thing, like, subscribe, hit notification. And until the next video, Friday, always remember, play games, not corporations.